They built it for speed. They built it for NASCAR dominance. And then, almost overnight, it vanished. This is the shocking truth behind Ford's legendary Boss 429 engine, an engineering marvel born for the track, silenced by rules, politics, and the winds of change. Let's rewind the clock and uncover the full story. It's the late 1960s. The big three, Ford, GM, and Chrysler, are locked in a high octane battle for supremacy. On the street and on the track, horsepower is everything. To beat Chrysler's 426 Hemi in NASCAR, Ford engineers created a beast, the Boss 429. But this wasn't just any big block. This was Ford's most ambitious engine yet, designed for speed, power, and endurance. Overlay footage of engine assembly. With a forged steel crankshaft, massive aluminum heads, and hemispherical combustion chambers, the Boss 429 was capable of over 500 horsepower, even though Ford advertised just 375. But there was a catch. The Boss 429 wasn't made for the streets. It was homologated, built specifically to meet NASCAR's racing rules, which required a minimum number of production cars to use the engine. So Ford stuffed the Boss 429 into the Mustang, a car that was never meant to house such a huge power plant. To make it fit, Ford had to re-engineer the Mustang's entire front end, widening shock towers, modifying fenders, and relocating parts. The result? A factory muscle car that looked tame, but packed the heart of a race machine. So, why was it banned? The answer lies in NASCAR politics and regulation shifts. After Ford's Boss 429 began to dominate on the track, NASCAR grew concerned about escalating engine designs and rising costs. They wanted to level the playing field and reduce the advantage of factory-backed super engines. So, by the early 1970s, NASCAR introduced new displacement limits and restrictions, effectively banning engines like the Boss 429. At the same time, government regulations off the track, like emissions laws and rising insurance premiums, made these high-performance engines too expensive and risky for mass production. The Boss 429 was simply too powerful, too rare, and too specialized for the new era. Only 1,358 Boss 429 Mustangs were ever produced between 1969 and 1970. Today, they're holy grails, fetching over $500,000 at auction. And though it was banned from NASCAR and cut short on the streets, the Boss 429 left a legacy of innovation, aggression, and rebellion. It showed the world what Ford could build when rules were pushed and limits were shattered. The Boss 429 was a legend, built to win and banned for being too good at it. From the racetrack to the auction block, it remains one of the most iconic engines in American history. What do you think? Was the Boss 429 too powerful for its own good, or just ahead of its time? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like if you love American muscle. Subscribe for more Untold car stories every week. Thanks for watching. This is Untold Car Stories, signing off.